Obviously, the South China Sea is a incredibly sensitive area with loads of competing claims. What is at stake here?
For Taiwan, it's the claim that Taiwan is a sovereign country, and as part of being a sovereign country, it has a claim, and in fact, it has troops and personnel on some of these islands that are quite a distance from Taiwan. So I think for Taiwan, it helps the argument to say that they're not just a breakaway province, or as some people like to say, a renegade province of China, but it's actually a country that does things that countries normally do. And that includes enforcing its territorial claims, even if the claim is some distance from Taiwan proper. So I think from that perspective, it's important for Taiwan to enforce this claim, to do what it's been doing to improve the airport or the landing runway or the pier.
Based on how we've seen Tsai act in terms of geopolitics and dealing with neighboring China during her presidency, how do you think she will approach the possibility of visiting Taiping Island?
So if she were to make that visit, I would expect a significant reaction from China. So President Tsai might say to herself, "Well, why would I want to invite that kind of reaction from China? I might as well just not go." Well, the good thing is if she visits and China does engage in military exercises as a reaction, there'll be a significant support around the world for Taiwan, just as we often see. So we would hear, for example, the State Department spokesperson would criticize China's military exercises and call for de-escalation, as would probably Japan, maybe the UK, maybe some other European countries. So it's kind of a worst case scenario that she goes, and then there's a significant Chinese response. In a way, it becomes a best case scenario because then you get statements of support from the United States.
Do you think it's a particularly dangerous or unstable time to be going to this part of Taiwan's territory?
We have to remember that Taiwan's claim to the island and China's claim to the island are not the only two claims. There are other competing claims. And the same thing with Taiwan's claim in the South China Sea as a whole, which is similar to China's claims, and it's in dispute with several other countries. So if President Tsai were to go, it would remind Vietnam and the Philippines that they have a competing claim. And although Taiwan and the Tsai administration has its new southbound policy, and they've tried to encourage Taiwan companies to invest more in Vietnam. And just a few weeks ago, Taiwan was thrilled with President Marcos's tweet congratulating William Lai, which he then walked back in a subsequent interview, saying that his government supports a one China policy and Taiwan is a province of China. So there's a risk of damage to Taiwan's relations with not just, or the possibility of a response from China, but there's a risk of damage to relations with Vietnam and the Philippines. So again, you have to ask, why is it really, really worth it to risk damaging Taiwan's relations with the Philippines and Vietnam?